always looks so nice.
Thank you, Mama. You too.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's Garrett and Tara.
Hello, everybody.
And it's
Good
beautifully
morning.
sunny. Oh, it's still morning, yes.
Good long morning.
Not quite afternoon. Oh, hold on one second. I'm just going to turn on the microphone.
Oh,
It looks like I didn't do that well.
did I unplug you?
No.
No. Okay.
So we'll get the microphone up and working here. It sounds like it might be a little bit, might be working a bit, but. Hello, this is the question and answering phase of the training. And so there, we should be up and running a little better now.
Oops. I got the previous day going here.
Oh yes, gotta get to the right day there, love. So how is everyone doing this beautiful morning? If you are joining us, feel free to say hi in the comments. This is the question and answer portion of what we do. We always include these days so that people can get a little bit more clarity on things they might be thinking about, or a little, questions about maybe how we do things, questions about, how other people have done in this program and things like that. So any question that you have, it is absolutely a question that is not only going to help you, but it is guaranteed to help other people.
Mm-hmm.
So most definitely pose whatever question you can here. Okay. I see someone has joined us.
I think it's Chelsea's joined. I can see that she
Okay.
said hello.
Well, hello there,
Nice
Chelsea.
to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Nice to see you too.
Nice to see you too. So yes, definitely ask any questions in the chat and we'll try and pick them up here.
So on that note too, if we had so many new people join today, yesterday, and the day before when we were already partway through our training. So if you're just joining us live today for the first time, feel free to stick around and punch in any questions that you have and listen to the questions that we've got in front of us. But do go back and watch day one as well, because we've taken you on a journey to arrive to where we are today, and it'll make much more sense for you, and you'll get full value out of what this training was meant to do, which was to have you create a goal that you're really motivated to work towards, a life and a body and a spirituality and sort of a mindset that's all aligned. And then we posed some homework questions so that you could really get clear on what that looks like for you, so you could get emotionally involved in what that would feel like to have that life. We talked about attitude and how attitude is so important to reaching those goals. And then we talked about having faith in that life being yours and what that looks like once you've attained that. Yesterday we talked about making a committed decision to take a risk in yourself and to believe in yourself, to see a quantum leap in your results. And so it's really important to go back and to arrive here today so that all of this will make sense. You can post comments also if you're watching the replay, right? So we want you to engage as if you were watching it live, so that you're injecting your energy and you're feeling a part of this community. And we get on a couple of times through the day just to see who's asked questions, and we can answer them in there. Right?
Sounds perfect.
Okay.
As Tara was just pointing out, we did take you on this journey through, from a place of where you, you first started, you may have been, just tinkering in this information, and or it might have just interested you in how this applies to your life. And as we went through those days, we are hoping that you got to grow. You had as very, I think, put the best, is you have a bigger view of the landscape, so that what is actually possible for you in your life and how you can apply this stuff immediately and see transformation happen instantaneously. And that isn't exaggerated. That is exactly what everyone experiences, that starts to think about them, themselves in a sense of being more self-centered and centering on what is important to them in their lives. So it was an amazing last 4 days, but we're going to continue with it. And we're going to kind of keep building for the next few days, right? We're gonna go live a few more times, so stay tuned and keep an eye on that. But on that, a few questions that have been raised. A pretty cool one is, how we tend to do our mornings, and how do we wake up, and how did we, end up where we are. So maybe I'll let you start with your kind of ritual.
Mine's always the same as is yours, really, I guess. So I always start my day the second I wake up with gratitude. In my mind, I don't write a list. I just go through everything that I'm presently grateful for, as well as things that I'm grateful for that haven't yet manifested. So I've really gotten into the practice of being grateful for my wish already fulfilled. So I don't even get out of bed. I just go straight into that state of mind. So I start my day that way. And then I always put on a guided meditation before my feet even hit the ground, and do an hour and a half meditation, usually about my future, about my life vision, about things that I want to have manifest. Meditation is a very active way of having like visualization and of doing affirmations for me. So I do Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditation every day. And then we connect shortly after you've done your routine. Yeah,
so I usually wake up anywhere between about 4:30 and 5:30. Kind of depends on my day. I'm not I got to get up at this time. I do set my alarm in most cases depending on the hours of sleep that I can get. So whether I go to bed at 10 or 9 at night. So I'm usually up quite early. I'm currently, if anyone is aware, I'm doing a reading passages from Earl Nightingale's The Essence of Success.
I don't think they know it's you. It's the hooded
monk.
Oh
yes, it's the
hooded monk.
He was an elf at one time too, but that's a funny story. But that's me doing the readings early in the morning. The guy in the blue robe and the glasses. Yeah. So I do that in the morning. That really sets my intention to it. Holds me to the rituals of getting up. And once I'm up, I'm always thinking I'm going to come back to bed, but I always end up being awake and excited about learning. So I will do one of two things. I will either continue reading a book that I've started that I want to get through, and I want to study. So I do about a morning hour or 2 hours of study. And or a meditation. So I do Dr. Joe's meditations as well. It is my near future goal to start a meditation practice every morning from here on in. So that's my ritual. Before I get out of bed and I hit my snooze on the alarm, if I do set the alarm, is my gratitude as well. I sit there and close my eyes and I see my vision and my goals and my desires for everything from this community to my work at the clinic, to my kids, to my family, the things I want, and all of those things. So I have a life of visualization I go through as well. So I do that, and then we connect, and then I'm usually spend a few hours at the clinic. So, but the whole idea of this morning ritual, and I heard this really well said by Jay Shetty, is that this morning ritual is kind of like the time that you give to yourself. It's all for you. I do it early because most of the world is asleep. And so this time is yours, and this energy is built in the morning, and this energy exists. It's kind of like a memory in the energy. And so when I wake up, I really feel that energy and I connect with it. So Jay Shetty said it well, that it's your time. It's no one else's.
I think we originally started on this too when we were learning what Wayne Dyer said. And he said that there's a particular time early in the morning, and I believe it's 5 a.m., where the morning breeze has a secret. And the more and more people we talked about, and the more we paid attention to what time we naturally wake up with thoughts, is 5 a.m., or like a message, or like something that just is so clear. There's clarity. There's like, I got to figure it out, or something you were struggling with. Boom, the answer just comes to you at that time. We decided to start our day when that happens, and to start it with an awareness that what am I meant to be doing, or what am I meant to be learning from what I just heard. So in the beginning, I would write it out, and then I would kind of have the answer that I was looking for. And we realized the frequency in that time of day is a unique frequency that only exists. And in fact, Dr. Joe Dispenza does a pineal gland meditation that starts at 4 a.m. because that's the ideal time to be programming your mind and to be inputting subconscious, or to be inputting thoughts into your subconscious mind. So we found it's less work, it's less effort, it goes directly in, everything's quiet, you don't have any obligations for the day yet. So I would say that's probably our most important part of the day, and the time of the day that we use to do the majority of our visualization, planning, and meditation.
Spiritual work.
Yeah.
Right? So that's our morning ritual. What about, if you have a lot of ideas flowing through your head and your mind's all over the place, how do you deal with that? Right? So how do you deal with it when you got this going on, that going on, this going on, you're thinking of that, you're doing this, you're doing that. In other words, your mind is a little scattered. Right? What do you do with that? Well, one of the best things that you can do is literally just focus on breath. And I recently read this or heard this on a podcast, and the science is showing that 6 deep breaths, 6 deep breaths, not 5, not 3, not 10, but 6 seems to be this ideal number where biological markers have been shown and other measured parameters have been benefited from these 6 deep breaths, right? In through the mouth, out, or in through the nose, out through the mouth. And what that ends up doing is it slows the mind down, right? It gets you concentrating on one thing. Another thing that I like to do when I'm all over the place is literally close my eyes, take the 6 deep breaths, because I can only concentrate on that, right? And then I shift to a gratitude, right? I shift to a gratitude, a thankful, a happiness, and that kind of slows my mind down, gets us focused. How about you?
Okay, so that used to happen to me a lot. I used to allow my thoughts to be kind of random and all over the place, and I used to believe that meant that I had things to think about and things to deal with. And now when that happens, I pay very close attention to what it is that is my chatter, and whether it's something that's serving me well and is positive and in line with what I'm trying to accomplish, or in line with my life vision, or if it's random, just stuff that isn't serving me or anybody else well. If I decided that it's random stuff that's not serving anybody well, and it's more like paradigm stuff or programming or false beliefs or judgments or negativity that I'm having about a situation or about what people are having towards me, I tend to not pay any attention to that anymore. That took a great deal of practice, right? So that's not something that I was able to do immediately. But now with awareness, I can say, okay, if the majority of my thinking is in this direction, it's time to turn it all to the positive on what I do want. And so I'm really diligent about that. And I learned something really, a really great technique for releasing those types of thoughts. And so I will say, like, I'm sorry for going unconscious. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love myself. Those types of things to get those negative thoughts out of my body, out of my head. And it allows me to redirect and go conscious to the thoughts that I do want to have.
Yeah, which bleeds into the next question. What is, when your thoughts are consistently negative? So how do you get away from, the negative self-talk, I hate my body, it's too hard to get up, oh my gosh, I want that pizza. How do you get rid of that negative self-talk? Do you want to answer first?
Sure. So this is a lot about what we teach, actually. And the best way to shift your thinking is away from what you don't want and shift it to exactly what you do want. So the importance of creating a very clear life vision for yourself is for this exact reason. When those thoughts creep in and you have something else to direct your attention to, in this case it would be the life of the wish already fulfilled, you can't kind of be in both places at the same time. So you have to replace that negative thought with what you do want. And it's a skill, and it becomes just part of your routine when you learn how to do it consistently. At least that's what what we've experienced, and it's what we taught. And I would say this is the biggest key to success. It helps bring more clarity into your life. It helps you be laser focused about what you do want. It clears up so much time and energy from useless things that are occupying our mind on a regular basis.
Excellent. And I think that's a good, when you do realize or you become aware of the fact that you're actually making those comments to yourself inside your head is the first step. You have to become aware that you're talking to yourself in that manner. As soon as you become aware of it, right, you have to check in with your mindset. And you have to ask, as we were talking about in attitude, positive mental attitude, negative mental attitude, or fair mental attitude. You have to ask yourself, is this a positive mental attitude? Because now you have a little bit more awareness from the training this week. You can ask yourself, is this a positive mental attitude? And you should know, based on what you learned, that, oh my gosh, no, this is not serving me. And so how did we say that you can change this? It's an immediate shift, as Tara said, to that which you do want. No, I am beautiful. I am gorgeous.
Yeah, even if you have to do it 1,000 times a day, it's like breaking any habit. It's what you don't want when you're breaking a habit is all you think about the first day. And then the second day, it's a little bit less. And then the third day, it's a little bit less. And then the fourth day, it's a little bit less, right? Like anybody who's been on a fitness program or a healthy eating program or stopping, having alcohol for a while or cleansing or working out, whatever it is, that. This is the same thing. But we think that it should be different for some reason. We view it as something that we should just either be or not be. This is the way I am or I'm not. It's easier for them because that's just the way you are. We're saying, and what we've learned is that this is just as much of a skill as learning to ride a bike and learning to be fit and learning to eat clean and healthy.
Right. So if you find yourself that your self-talk is that, then there is room for improvement. And what the coaching can do for you is it can give you the skills you need in order to change that underlying belief.
Yeah.
And how do we do that is through repetition. So start there, just start shifting. And it's not that you're lying to yourself. It's not that you are, because in actual fact, think of it. If you're saying those words, then you're actually lying to yourself because it is not true. So the reality of it is what's the difference between saying I hate my body is ugly, it's this, that, and the other, versus my body's amazing and beautiful and incredible, right? They're the same thing. They're a belief, and all you have to do is just believe in that. So shift your mindset. So check in with your mindset, right, and then shift it right away. What else here? Let's see. So I just wanted to expand even more on that a bit. And no, we're going to leave that actually. So another question here. Do you do affirmations, and do you write the same ones every day, or do you read them, or how do you use affirmations, Tara?
Okay. Well, I already mentioned I do my affirmations pretty much in my head in the beginning. In the beginning of the day, unless there's something specific I'm working towards. So, if I feel like I'm needing to do it throughout the day, like beyond just in the morning, if I'm feeling like I'm not maintaining what I've established in the morning, then I will write out affirmations throughout the day. If I feel my energy shifting, if I feel myself going back to a conditioned way of being that isn't serving me, then I'll write it out. I'll write it out, a whole page of it. And my affirmations are always different, I would say. My big goal stays the same. My life vision stays the same. But depending on the day and depending on mental chatter or what's going on in my life or what obstacles have come up, I will make my affirmations be more specific.
Perfect.
They're designed for me to shift my energy,
right,
to stay at a frequency where I'm going to manifest my goal, right? So I use my affirmations more that way.
That's a perfect explanation behind what affirmations do for you. So you should definitely be using affirmations. We explained a couple in our talk about decisions, right? I am a decision maker. All the decisions I make are true. All my decisions are in line with my greater potential, my ideal. I am a good decision maker. So those are affirmations that you can apply right away. So yes, definitely use affirmations all the time. So some people wonder, I think, there's a couple of questions that are kind of connected. How long do you hope or anything before you give up, or how long do you do things before you kind of change stuff? Which blends into, what are your thoughts on patience and manifesting?
Good question.
Very
Okay.
good question, eh?
So when we're talking about something that we really, really, really want, such as our big transformation, everything that's happened in our life over the last couple of years. So our dream house, our cottage, our boat, our relationship, our life with the children, our business, you guys. I never ever gave up hope on any of those goals because it's something that I really, really wanted. But let's say I set a goal that I thought I wanted. And then I grew and I changed and I shifted and I didn't want that goal anymore, then I would abandon it. But I've never abandoned anything that I really, really, really wanted. And that leads us back to our first day in the training here. There's no point in setting something that you don't really, really, really want. And if you find that you are wanting to quit, you don't want that thing bad enough. You just don't. So you have to find the thing that you say, I am so committed to this. I have so much faith in this. There's no way anybody or anything is going to talk me out of it. So I would say we don't generally, if it's something we want.
We don't give up.
Unless we've discovered that it's not really what we wanted. We grew out of it.
Yeah.
We've grown out of many things where we thought we wanted them and then we got to where we were and realized, oh, I wanted that then. That version of me where I was at that level wanted that. But this version of me here at a higher elevated level, I guess I don't want that.
So yeah, I think that's a perfect answer. And I think just to add to it is when your goal is big enough and important to you, and when we say big enough, it's not about like, I'm going to take over the world or I'm going to own all of New York City. No, not big in that way. Big in the sense that it elevates your emotions of inspiration, of exhilaration, of excitement, of happiness. When it's big enough that way for you, all of your fears, all of your wonders about things like being patient and all that, it kind of falls away. Mm-hmm. It doesn't even really enter into your mind as a possibility. You kind of go, well, we've gotten to the point now where it's like, it doesn't even enter your thought process. So giving up doesn't even exist in vocabulary.
No.
And so I think, as Tara was pointing out, it's all about your goal. When your goal is big enough, and I love it, you always get a thought. Okay, go, before you lose it.
I think what that question is really asking is, when do I give up on myself? I've committed to this. I want this. I know I want this. I'm trying and I'm manifesting and I'm visualizing and I'm doing my affirmations, but it isn't showing up yet. Does that mean I think I'm just going to give up on myself? If that's really the question, then the answer is that too many people stop short when they're just about to have their desire manifest, they quit. And that is such a defining moment, because it's always in that moment, in the surrender of whatever, I'm done, that everything happens. Because up until that point, it's I want. It's effort, it's trying, it's striving. I'm doing the work, I don't understand. Well, that's not belief in faith. That is wishing and wanting. And so that can be confused with, I'm doing everything, but you're not living from the feeling of the wish already being fulfilled. So it's counterproductive. What we teach is how to become that so that you just know you've placed the order and it's coming to you. Right? So it's a totally different, it's not really a question about when do you give up. It's a question on your faith in the process.
Whether you trust in yourself enough.
Yeah, and the laws and
That's right.
all of that enough. Whether you trust, believe, have faith. So if you're finding that you're a person who's stopping short and deciding I'm going to quit now, most likely you have to check in with your faith in the process and then gain some knowledge in how this manifestation actually does work.
That's a great point. Great point, because knowledge will bridge that gap for you.
Yeah.
There's a couple good questions attached to that we should probably look at, which is how do you practice, and this is that surrender or allowing things to happen, right? And I think you touched on it when you said faith, right, or letting go. When you know, and we often use that in our coaching too, is when does the person end up, or the couple end up getting pregnant? Right? It's when they finally just say, whatever, I'm so done. Right? Boom, they get pregnant. And why is that? Because they detach from the outcome. And when you detach from the outcome, there's no expectation anymore. So there's a decrease in stress, there's relaxation, all those other things. So how do you practice allowing surrender? You have faith.
Yeah.
Right? You have faith. Because remember, you're always manifesting positive or negative. Right? And if you have faith that you're always manifesting, then you can always become aware of your thoughts. And if you can align your thoughts in what you're trying to get, then your faith can build. And then all of a sudden you can trust more, and then you can let go.
I love that. I think for me, it was when I made the realization that you are the creator of your life by, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
that you create your life by your thoughts. You create your reality by your thoughts. But you're also a co-creator in that your only obligation and the only thing you can do in this whole process is decide what you really, really want, choose to believe it, choose to have faith in it, and then surrender to your co-creator, to universe, to God, to spirit, whatever that is to you, to bring those opportunities, circumstances, and life to you. You can't control anything beyond that. And so that's a very liberating and freeing realization to make. And it takes the pressure and the stress out of striving for how is it all going to happen, and worrying, well, what if they don't agree and they don't agree and they don't listen and I don't get that, and I can't think for everybody, make decisions for everybody. You don't need to. The responsibility that you have and where you need to be accountable is only to know what you really, really want, and to make sure that it aligns with your life vision and that it excites you. That's it. And so that was the defining moment in understanding the true meaning of surrender. The surrender isn't like, what the fuck, I give up. It's I surrender because I have faith in the process, that my only obligation is living from the wish fulfilled.
I love that. I think that's a perfect answer to that. And
The swear word or the...
well, both. You always swear when you get passionate. Brittany will like you.
Oh, yeah, that one's for you, Brittany.
Excuse me. So how do you stay positive when everything around you is going wrong?
Oh, I know that one.
Or when everything just seems to be piling up on you, and it just
Yeah.
seems like...
Who can relate to that, right? Everybody can relate to that
I
one.
think everyone's been in that position. And I think...
It's a good question.
I think that, yeah, it's a great question. It's a question that can be answered from a couple of different places. But if you were to answer it from maybe a place of, now, like when everything seems to be going wrong, what do you do?
Well, I can tell you what I do, because it happens. It happens a lot sometimes, right? We've been in a situation, numerous situations, for the last year or two, both of us, in our life that others would see as horrible and stressful and taxing and oh my gosh, I don't know how you do it, and how can you stay positive, and you must be faking that you're happy, and nobody would even believe sometimes the amount of what they would think were negative things and pressures and stress, and so the way that, and I have to say we because we've done it together, is that we've learned that those situations are neutral. Those circumstances are neutral. The opinions that people have that they try to impose on you that would normally cause you stress, it's neutral. It's kind of their deal. And the situation is the situation. It's neither good nor bad. And when we realize that it's our judgment and our belief and our assumption about whatever it is that's going on around us, that is causing us to feel a certain way, angry, frustrated, stressed, whatever, we realize that we don't need to have that judgment. Why do we want to feel that way? We can choose to have a different outlook. And so we do that consciously. It is what it is. How do we want to feel about it? How do we make it a positive thing versus a limiting thing? And then we just act accordingly to that. So it eliminates so much wasted energy and stress that is used for destructive purposes. And we consciously choose to go into a higher vibration and feel happy and feel blissful and feel grateful. Doesn't mean that that situation isn't still there. It just means that it's not bad. It just is. And then that allows us to have creative energy and love and kindness and joy and happiness and to be silly and have fun in our life. And so it's the same thing as we were saying earlier. We pay no attention to it. We do what we need to do as a task to get it done, but all of our focus comes back to what we do want to have in our life. So it diffuses the whole situation. It almost disappears. And that took a long time, guys. Like, that took a long time. And I say that because we're still in it, but the way that we respond to what we're still being inundated with is so much different than it was a year or two ago. And I think that that question for me is exactly why this program worked so well for me. It is exactly why doing the work has benefited me so much. It was worth every single ounce of frustration, of time, of money, of working through it and refocusing my energy, because I would still be in that vicious cycle of letting my outside circumstances consume me and fuel me. And I would never ever, I still would be in that place where when this is over, I can then do this. When that person behaves this way, then I can do that. And so now I'm able to just go, it really doesn't matter. I'm just doing it despite of those things.
Good answer. Very thorough answer.
Well, I think it's a big deal because
a lot of us are there.
And I'm looking at who's watching, and I'm looking at who our clients are, and I'm looking at the people we've helped and the calls that we've been on this week. And I would say actually late last night, I was on a call with a lovely lady, and she asked me that question. Exactly. She said, what do you do with people who might have negative feelings towards you because you seem successful, because you're a woman in business, because you have this positive mindset and you look happy, and because of, I said, I get it all the time. But I realized that it's their opinion. It comes from their judgment and their assumption based on how they feel, their energy. It has nothing to do with me. It's so incorrect. How could I even take it on as my own?
Love it.
My own thoughts. So.
Love that.
You?
It's kind of like going on stage after the guy just gets the triple standing ovation. No, you know what? I take it from a place of, for me, it's about, so when things are going wrong, I'll take it very simple. You stub your toe. Mm-hmm. You spill the coffee, right? I now know that whether I like it or not, that I was in a vibration that attracted that reaction from the environment. Mm-hmm. So I either disconnected from positivity or something negative came into my mind, and it's always that.
Yeah.
When I check in with my mind at that moment, it's like, oh my gosh, I fell from grace. It's like a reminder to me now. It's like
but it is actually.
it totally is.
Yeah.
So it's like a slap in the face. Hey, wake up. It's like, oh yeah, don't go unconscious.
Yeah.
Remember this. And so that's the way I look at it. And then I just shift my attention. I shift my awareness. If it's something a little bit grander, then I will get my body moving. So I'll go
Yeah,
for a run.
that's true.
I'll go into the gym. I will go play with the kids, run around. I will get my body moving because that physically forces an elevated vibration, right? And it causes your body then to almost control your mind in a sense. You let it take over a bit, and it reprograms me. It tends to reset me. It's kind of like a grounding for me. So some people can sit in stillness and they'll ground, and I can do that as well. But when I'm in it, I'm like, give me my gym.
Yeah.
And I realized that's what I used my playing soccer for, was this grounding and this increased vibration. So get moving. Another thing is you just go right back to your goal, right back to your dream life, your visualization of, something that brings an elevated emotion, like sitting on the beach in Mexico, which is one for me. The other thing you can do is reach out to people and literally look for support. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the beauty of this community, actually. That's the beauty of the people we're with. There is absolutely no one, I can guarantee you, that if you reached out to them because you were just in a place, that wouldn't sit with you to talk to you about this, in the people that we work with now. Right? And that's the beauty about our weekly facilitations that are along with the program, is it elevates people emotion, elevates their vibration, right? So it brings you out of that negative. So working with coaches and things like that, and then meditation is another one, right? So that was a big long one. I like this question because it's a little bit more related to what you were talking about with your partner. What do you tell someone who's kind of like on the fence of things, like they really love this information, they love this, the sounds of all of it, they love how they feel when they listen to it, but they have this partner or, someone they're with that, gives you a hard time, or just an environment that gives you a hard time. Like, what do you do? Like, I got to check in with my spouse or my partner. And I know we touched on this in decision, but how would you handle that? Because we're pretty lucky. We do this together because we absolutely love this. So we talk like this over coffee. We talk like this with people that come to visit our houses. But we also enjoy the diversity. So what do you do? What do you do or what do you say to someone that is sitting on the fence going, I just don't know whether I want to do this. I don't know whether I should jump in.
Well, I think that everybody who's kind of following along here, if you've watched the videos and you've made it to this day and you're wondering and you like it and it feels good, and then you get back to your day and it doesn't feel so good, and then you come back on and you feel good. I think there's something there. I think that you're wanting to see a quantum leap in your transformation, in the results in your life. And I think you're scared, you're doubting yourself because most likely you've tried something like it before and it didn't work out as well. Maybe you quit too soon, or you didn't have the support of your spouse or your kids or your mom or your whoever. And so you felt misunderstood, and that you were looking for something outside of yourself to validate your desire for changing your life. And so we always say that believing in yourself and deciding to grow and change is never a disservice to yourself or anybody who loves you. Even if they disagree with you wanting to invest time and money in yourself, and they see changes in you and they're threatened by that, it's still not a disservice to them. It's a benefit to them, and you're going to lead by example when you have an elevated frequency. People don't know, and so you can't fault them for not knowing. They have to see it. They have to see the change in you. It's always a positive change when you invest in yourself and you learn these new skills. So although you might get some resistance and people might hesitate and tell you you're all good and you don't need this, if it's something you want, nobody should tell you you can't have what you want.
That's, I think, the essence of it is it's for you. It's for nobody else but yourself. Whether or not they support you or anything like that, to the nth degree, is their problem, not yours. Don't let their situations, circumstances, feelings get in the way of what you know is best for you. That's usually a connection or a belief in a fear. In other words, you're fearing something, right? And this person validating it from a lower level, a vibration at a lower level, you're experiencing fear or a discomfort of what this might bring. But here's the thing to think about, as we talked about in Faith Over Fear. Perhaps that fear is not so much fear as it is exhilaration or excitement. Like maybe you're excited about the possibility of what this can do, right? So excited that maybe you do fear the fact that, you know, if you don't have this person's support, they're going to give you the old, oh, I told you so, right? But reality of it is the fear is only whatever you give it more attention, whether you give it more attention or whether you go to the faith of it. Do you trust yourself enough to do this? It's got nothing to do with anybody else. It's your own thing, right? And like Tara said, which I think is amazing, is that nobody can tell you what's right for you except you. Nobody can.
Yeah, and actually, I think a lot of us, that's how we got kind of to where we are.
Absolutely.
And realized, am I even living the life that I truly wanted, or have I been making compromises and sacrifices and living the life that other people wanted me to live? I know that's where we were.
And yeah, and think about it. If you make that decision from that same place,
More of the same. You get more of the same. So it's really just about deciding you're worth it, deciding that you may not believe that it's possible for you right now, but that you have faith that the process works, because it's worked for us, it's worked for people you know, it's worked for thousands of people we know. When you have that desire for change and you can just decide to have faith and see where it takes you, knowing that you can't stay still, nothing stays still. You can either keep doing what you've always done and get the exact same results, listening to the exact same people, doing exactly the same thing, or you can consider taking a new route.
a new door,
Yeah.
a new possibility.
Yeah.
You're thinking.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm going to leave it there.
Yeah. I think I think all those questions are great questions, right? Like, and they really do hopefully help you guys, help everyone understand, you know, maybe a little bit more, understand a little bit of a clearer picture. All we know is this, is that there are laws of the universe that govern your experience, your excitement. They govern how things are created, and they govern your results. And you have one of two choices. You either you understand them, you know them, and you work with them, or you remain ignorant, right? And your ignorance allows fear to creep in, and those laws still work. But instead of positive, they do negative.
Yeah.
And so the bridge here is to gain the knowledge, the understanding of how to apply those, right? Become more aware of that, apply that to your life, and go after the life that you've always dreamed of.
Yeah, and another question that's kind of come to my mind is like, and again, based on the conversations that we've been having this week with people, is I don't know that I have time for another program. I'm so busy. I've got all these things going on. There's some uncertainty in my life. I just don't know if I can commit to another program. And I always come back with, you're not taking a program.
Yeah, that's very good. Yeah.
Right? You're not signing up for a class where you have to learn some material, answer some questions, and fill your day up with make work projects. What you're doing is you are designing your life. You're creating a life that you are in love with, a life where you want to see such transformative results and have a quantum leap transformation. And so we're offering a process that takes you from establishing what that looks like, right? Many of you have never even stopped to think, what does my ideal life look like? You're in your life and you're like, here I am, I'm living my life the best that I can, but not ever stopped and said, is this truly the life that I want to live? Have I put some thought there? Am I in my dream home? Am I with my dream partner? Do I feel the way that I want to feel? Am I helping others? Am I making the money that I want to make? What's my emotional life like? What's my love life like? We get one shot at this. If it's not the way that you want it, there's areas of your life that have been neglected. And our coaching offers you an easy to follow step-by-step system to create your life. And so when our clients start our program, they receive 12 lessons, right? And we're so quick to remind them that you're not receiving this program as a work project, but as a let's get you from where you are now to where you want to be. And when you have that perspective of what you're doing over the next 12 weeks, it changes everything. You don't look at it as a program to follow to fit into your day.
Love it, because I think that is the absolute key to all of this, is that you are not just doing work. You're not just doing it to get it done. I think you use that comment with our clients. It's not about just getting it done, going through the work. Oh, I'm done. Okay, close the book.
When can I move on to the next one?
Yeah, let's go. Or even, okay, I've done my work for the day. Okay, I'm going to go back into life now. No, it's not about that. This is transforming your life. And it systematically reprograms your subconscious mind. And it is unbelievable how efficient it works. It's based on years of research and years of study. Bob put 56 years into this thing. And for me, it's like, if you're going to learn to be the best damn soccer player, you better have the best damn coach. And that's what I was like when I approached my life back when felt like it was in the dumps. When it just felt like, what the hell, spinning my wheels, trying to work harder, less time with the family, more time at work, more productive, right? More busy is the word to say. And once this information, I started to apply it, it's like, oh my God, like I work less and make more. How is that possible? Now I understand it. So if that's you and you're feeling that way, now's the time. Don't screw around anymore. I know I'm getting to that point where it's you get to the point where it's like, why in the hell would you waste your time? And let me tell you this, if you're worried about money or anything like that, you know how much it's costing you not to do work on you? Just give it a little thought. Right? We're here to help. We're just here. We just because we love people. We just want to see the best for all of you guys. Like it's an incredible opportunity. So
just last question that I received is, what is the discovery call all about? Because all of you, our whole entire community here, is entitled to a free call with us. This is not a sales call. Okay, I want you to hear that it is not an opportunity for us to try to sell you something. We're offering a valuable service because we want you to have a transformation. We want you to have a shift in your energy. We want to help you establish the goal from day one. We want to check in on your attitude and see how it aligns with your goal. We want to give you the skills and the tools. We want to coach you through what faith looks like in achieving that goal. We want to help you make a committed decision so that you can see the results in your life that you want to see. We are using that process because it's the process that worked for us. We were where many of you were. We watched a video, we got on a call with somebody, we went on a website, we had some information, but until we connected one-on-one with somebody and felt that we had a mentor and a coach that we could relate to and who heard us and understood us, we weren't able to make that leap into taking the time to invest in ourselves. And so that's what we're offering you. We're offering you that. So at the top of the feed in the group, there's a Calendly app, and you can schedule your 15-minute call in there with us. We will be privately messaging each one of you and or leaving you a voicemail on Messenger to say we're here to talk to you when it works for you. This community is going to be growing and growing and growing. For right now, it's Garrett and I who will be making those calls. But in the near future, there will be some success advisors helping us to make those calls too. So we're offering, I don't know if you saw yesterday, the 12 lessons that are created by Bob Proctor. We've partnered with him because his program is the best. You get also coaching from both Garrett and I weekly. There is facilitations that we help that we use to help guide you through each lesson, and we also have a Q&A every week, and so you get live coaching with us. We're very accessible. You get a year's worth of access into our community, which is incredible, so you can keep your vibration very, very high so that you're surrounded by like-minded people all the time, as much as you want to engage. There's a masterminding component with that when you're in a group setting. It's a beautiful experience. People are at all different levels, and everybody, there was one call that we were on not too long ago where we didn't even say anything. And they each coached one another on some things, and it was very moving. It was a very spiritual type of experience. You're also getting a spiritual awakening when you're doing this work. You know, anybody who's familiar with Bob's corporate stuff might think that this is a corporate program designed to 10x your income. It's not just that. That works very well for those people, but this is a system that works well for any type of goal because it teaches you how you got where you are and what you need to do to get new results, which is in your thinking. So I don't think there was, the other special offer that is only available for a limited time was a little extra, and that is the Success Roadmap, the Mind, Body, and Soul Success Roadmap. So
Yes.
that is only available until Tuesday, midnight.
Yes.
And that's because we want to reward all of you who have been committed and been persistent and have stuck with us through to the end, and that who are taking a leap of faith and investing in themselves. So that Success Roadmap on its own is valued at $6,000. So we're giving you that as an extra for free when you sign up to work with us to see the results that you want to achieve. So that whole bundle that I talked about earlier is available right now for $8,000, including the extra, which is normally $6,000. So we're only keeping the price at $8,000 for another month, and then our price is jumping up to $10,000 for that combination. So if you're at all thinking about this and you want to get in, talk to us. Again, we're not going to let money stand in the way of you being our client, and we hope that you wouldn't stand in the way of that investment in yourself either. So there's lots of financing opportunities available. You just need to speak with us. The only thing we require and the only thing we're looking for to decide whether or not you're a good client for us is whether or not you really, really want something, and that you've made the committed decision to take the leap of faith and work on investing in yourself.
Absolutely. On that note, this has been a great 5 days. Stay tuned over the weekend. We will be coming back on to possibly talk a little more.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking too, because there's so many people that joined
Yeah?
the group a little bit later. If you're watching and we hit on something over the week and you weren't able to attend live, connect with us if you want some more information about something in particular.
Yeah.
We're here to offer you as much value as we can, and we want to make sure we're serving you in the best way that we can. Likely, if you've got an idea or thought about something, somebody else does too. And so we're happy to share more information about that topic.
Perfect. So on that note, we will say goodbye. Happy weekend to you all. It is Friday afternoon here in Vancouver, Surrey area. So we're going to go enjoy that. You guys have an amazing day and definitely take advantage and connect with us. We love you all. We hope you have an amazing day.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Bye.